you're new to my channel, I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy Friday! I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's video is going to be a small town romance recommendation video. I did a previous small town romance video before on my channel, so I'll link that previous recommendation video for small towns in the description. I wanted to do another
small town romance recommendation video.
I read one of my favorite small town books last month in August. It was one of my favorite books of August, so that's why I wanted to make this video. First, we have the Landmark Mountain series by Willow Asher. I've talked about this series multiple times on my channel, but I will not stop recommending it to you until more people read it, because I think it is a great small town romance. We follow a group of siblings that owns a ski lounge, I think in Denver, Colorado or something like that. The first book is called Unforgettable. It's a one-night stand turn enemies, turn friends to lovers. But we follow Scarlett and Jameson. Scarlett is depressed because her family decides to sell the ski lodge to someone else, and it's not going to be in the family anymore. And she sees this guy, and to get her mind off this ski lounge, she sleeps with this guy. And when she comes back the next day, she finds out that the person she had a one-night stand with is actually the person who's going to buy her family ski lounge. His name is Jameson, and I really liked it. It was the first book in a series. It's my favorite book in the series so far. I really liked all the family dynamics. And I love the grandmother. She's my favorite side character. Jameson had to work to get Scarlett to trust him because Scarlett kept doubting his intentions toward her. It wasn't until he went to dinner with her family that her family convinces Scarlett to give Jameson a chance. And I loved it. It's also a billionaire romance. Jameson is rich. The next book in that series is called Someday. We follow Sophie and Theo. Theo is Scarlett's older brother. He is the town vet. Scarlett and Theo were childhood sweethearts. They were going to spend the rest of their lives together. But one day, senior year in high school, after graduation, Sophie just disappears, leaving Theo with a note. Never heard from her again. Years later, Sophie moves back in town and one of her horses are sick, and she needs the town vet to take a look at her, and so she needs to ask Theo for help, and that's when they're back in each other's lives, and Theo wants answers for why she left. Trigger warning, it's parental abuse. That's the trigger warning. Theo and Sophie's second chance romance. I really liked it. Rewrite our story. Marigold and Kids. It's a best friend's older brother romance. Marigold has always had a crush on Cade, and Cade and her best friend were there for her when her mom died when she was younger, and so she always held Cade to this pedestal. And when they grow older in high school and they get into a relationship, but Marigold wants to become a writer. So senior year happens, Cade breaks Marigold's heart. And years later, Marigold comes back. She does become a writer, but she goes back to this small town because her best friend's mom and Cade's mom dies, so she wants to be there for her best friend and Cade because they were there for her when her mom died. And it's Marigold and Cade's second chance romance. This book is spicy. These books are on Kindle Unlimited, by the way. Done and dusted. Emmy and Luke. Emmy is I forgot what they call it, a barrel wielder horse rider person. Falls off her horse when she was doing one of the shows, and she's scared to get back on a horse again. Back to her
She
hometown.
moved back to her
And
hometown.
then we meet Luke, who's her brother's best friend. Luke is the bar owner. Luke is the only one he opens up to about her trauma, about the fact that she cannot ride a horse again. So Luke offers to help her get on the horse again and face her fears, and through that forced proximity, Emmy and Luke form a relationship. Also, trigger warnings for toxic family on Luke's side. Next we have Give Me Butterflies by Julia
I read
Meadows.
this book because of Morgan, and
This
nothing
book
better than a
is
book.
the book that I was talking about one of my favorite books in August. We follow Millie and Finn. They both work at a museum. Finn is an astronomer, and I always forget what Millie or what her job is called, but she's a scientist in a museum. It's a workplace romance, single guardian romance. He falls first, and Millie is trying to get the director position in the museum, and Finn is part of the hiring committee for that. It's their romance. Something happens where Millie gets and meets Luke's meets Finn's nieces, and he ends up volunteering to help Finn learn how to cook for his nieces, and it's their romance, and I loved it. I loved how Finn pursued Millie, and I loved Millie's relationship with the girls. Also, trigger warnings for death of a loved one by cancer. Luke's younger sister died of cancer. That's why he gets custody of his nieces. Also, trigger warnings for toxic parents on Luke's side, and on Millie's side, a toxic ex-boyfriend. Here With Me by Brooke Montgomery, and I haven't read this book yet, but I'm going to get an audio arc of this book, even though I know the book has come out released already on Kindle Unlimited, but I'm going to get the audio arc for it, so I'm gonna wait to read it until I get that arc, because I got the email from Always and Forever PR. It's Tori and Jess's company, audiobook company, and all I know about this is it's an ex-boyfriend's dad romance, and the heroine is a horse trainer. Those are all my recommendations for small town romance. Please let me know if you have read any of these books. I would love to know. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see you Monday. Bye.